assistant head basketball coach Jerome Tang, Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports. So who is Alabama? The teams that's beaten Gonzaga and some of the other big teams, are the one that has been erratic at times?
I feel like we're going to see the team that beat Gonzaga. And, I mean, we're preparing for the best version of Alabama, and the best version of Alabama is really good.
Yeah, they made that run last year, lost in overtime to UCLA, and expectations are high. I noticed they're averaging about the same amount of rebounds a game as you. Is that something you have to contain as well?
Yeah, when they shoot a lot of threes, and long shots equal long rebounds, so their athleticism and speed to the rebounds. It's not necessarily their physicalness. It's what allows them to be a really good offensive rebounding team.
And you're used to these SEC Challenge or these non-conference games, a game late in January, but does it interrupt anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys are going to like it because they're not going to know us as well, and we are not going to know them as well, and so some of the stuff that doesn't work in a Big 12 game will work because they don't have enough time to prepare for us, as we don't have enough time to prepare for them to know them well enough. But it would be, as a coach, I would like to just keep moving on in the Big 12 and trying to get a rhythm and just building towards, what we want to accomplish.
How much does it help that this game, even though it's a road game, obviously you guys are leaving this afternoon, but how much does it help when you have this kind of in the middle of it, at least Monday's game is a home game?
Oh, that's huge, having Monday's home game, but I still don't know who we play next, really, so just focused on Alabama, come home and get ready. It's a quick turnaround. So all those, this time of year, Smoak, we're just trying to, have legs and be healthy. If we can have legs and be healthy, we have a chance.
We always know what's been said about the SEC in football. It does appear that although the Big 12 is the best conference in America, that the SEC is getting better. Auburn at 1. We know Kentucky. Obviously, Tennessee's playing Texas. Alabama made their run last year, among others. Is the conference, in your opinion, just kind of watching a little bit of them deeper than they've been in a while?
On the last bracketology, I was just reading an article where, they could possibly have 9 teams make the NCAA tournament, and that would break their record of 8. And so we're on a historic year in our league because of percentages. We could have 8, maybe not. If it wasn't for Oklahoma State's situation, you're looking at 8 or 9 teams in our league making the tournament, possibly, and they're doing the same thing. So yeah, it's not a fun time as a coach to be in any one of these leagues, but as a competitor, it is.
How proud are you of what Dale Bonner's starting to do and how he has progressed in a time when you needed him to play more minutes?
Man, he's been incredible, man. He's such a terrific young man. His spirit, his approach, and he's just appreciative. It's fun to be around guys who are not entitled, and they're just appreciative of everything, and they make the most of everything. And there's just so much more to him that we haven't seen yet. And, just as he continues to grow in that confidence, you're going to see some things, and you're going to say, man, that's special. But everybody got a little glimpse of it the other night. And I'm excited for him and his family and just what it means for our team.
You told me a couple of weekends ago, and you mentioned you guys had the losses and were about to go on the road to West Virginia, that in the end, at the end of all this, a chance you could be better because you've had to have some guys step up that perhaps are learning and getting better at certain locations. As a coaching staff, I'll never forget when Tristan Clark went down and you guys became much more guard-oriented, and that's kind of now who you are. What does that say about the coaching staff, you and others, that you guys are able to find a way to not change who you are, but find ways to make things happen?
I remember when Tristan Clark went down, and this is why Scott Drew's a Hall of Famer and going to be a Hall of Famer, and is the coach and person that he is. He walked in our office and he said, "We are not going to pout about this. We're going to figure out the answer." And Tristan's going, we're going to figure this thing out, and we're not going to spend any time thinking about what we've lost. We're going to figure out what we have and how we can give them the best chance to win. And I mean, the mindset changed. This is what we can do. This is how we can do it. This is how we can be effective. He clearly laid it out for the team on what we want to do and how we want to do it. It took us a couple games to get there, and then the guys really bought in and they were able to see it visually and feel it. And so that's the same thing with this group, that we have right now. We had some guys down. The blessing of getting to play some close games and get to see some guys in some really tight situations, and for us as coaches to figure out what might work and what wouldn't work. And then now you're starting to get guys back and build that depth. But we're going to be in some close games down the road, and now we've been through it before, and so we've got some data to help us make the best decision for the team moving forward.
Obviously, you'd like to have Langston Love. We know that was early. You lost him before the season. Everyone has focused a lot about what Kendall Brown can do. And now you lose Jeremy Sohan for a while, and you kind of all of a sudden you look up and everyone starts to go, man, he might be the glue to this whole thing. How much does he make a difference, and why?
Man, he is he is so huge. Well, first of all, he can play any position on the floor, and he can guard any position on the floor. And he does like little things that make it easy for everybody else to do the big things. His ability to grab a rebound and pitch ahead, his cutting at the right time, his just moving the ball to the other side of the floor, his setting a screen and flipping at the right time, which causes the defense to have to pay attention to him, and now it opens up something for somebody else. And on the defensive end, there was one play the other night against K-State where a little quick guard, Jeremy switched out on him, and I know my man thought, yeah, I'm about to beat this guy middle. And Jeremy, at his size, just cut him off and then cut him off again. And in those two moments, it allowed our defense to load up onto that side of the floor, and then it shut down any action they were going to do on the back side of the floor, and it just stalled them. And you could just see in their eyes, man, this dude is not supposed to be able to do that. And I mean, he's just and he covers up for people's mistakes, very much like Mace Ortiz did last year off the ball. Mace, people didn't see it because it wasn't his on the ball presence, but his off the ball presence, his talking, his getting people in the right spot, his recognizing plays early before, very much like Terrell Bernard, how he can see what the play is and shoot the right gap and nail that running back, before he gets going. And Jeremy sees the play ahead of time and is able to help get people in the right position so that we can stop the play and stall the ball so that everyone can rotate to the right spot.
Jerome Tang with his assistant men's basketball coach at Baylor. We're about to play on the road against Alabama tomorrow. Jonathan Chalmuchacho and Matthew Meyer were at a media session before you guys went on the road after you had lost a couple of games, and he mentioned, Jonathan, about how you needed to go back to playing angry, that the players needed to go back to high-level energy. And sometimes players say that, or coaches. It's one thing to say it, it's one thing to actually then go do it. It appears as if that's happened. Was that something that might have been needed or missing in that stretch, along with the fact you had guys hurt?
I thought that our depth gave us the ability to wear people down, and when guys went down, we didn't have that luxury. Guys had to stay out on the floor longer. Guys didn't get to sit on the bench as much and get angry because they were sitting on the bench, so then they could step on the floor and want to be more productive in shorter spans. But losing, right? I think it got to a point, sometimes you get to a point when winning is not enough. anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, well, how come they didn't win by 20? Or how come so-and-so didn't do this? Or how come like, winning was not enough? So, yeah, I feel the losing was the thing that got everybody angry and refocused. And now all of a sudden, you know, we were no longer the hunted, but now we became the hunters again. You know, like, hey, nobody's paying attention to us. And I mean, some people called it like winner's fatigue. I don't know if it's that. It's just like a complacency and like people stop focusing on what the main thing is.
Right.
And losing allowed us to refocus on what the main thing is. And, you know, I mean, fans do it. You know, like fans are not satisfied with a 10-point win. Oh, we should have won by 20. Or, you know, and, you know, every game we win in the Big 12, that's like winning an NCAA tournament game because every team in the Big 12 is an NCAA tournament team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but, I mean, we wouldn't be disappointed to win an NCAA tournament game, but we sometimes are disappointed when we win a Big 12 game because we didn't win by enough.
And I saw Scott bring that up in that ESPN Plus deal, that series you guys, Our Time. I saw him say that to a team, that we've maybe forgotten a little bit of that or gotten away from some of that, which is all, you know, again, sometimes you can take the little things or the big things for granted.
Yeah. Well, when you don't pay attention to the little things and don't appreciate them, that's when you run into problems with the big thing. And the big thing is to win the game and prepare to win the last one.
Would you love to have each of you as assistant coaches and Scott mic'd up during the game and just play whatever is said among the group?
No, we're not. But hey, look, you know what's crazy? We're sitting in the locker room the day before the Oklahoma game, right? And you know, people always wonder, well, what before this big game? What are you guys talking about? And we're talking. Coach Drew's asking, "Hey, man, are y'all's eyes going on you? Like we wear contacts. I wear one so I can see far and still be able to read close. His contact. You know, we're talking about eyesight." Like, and how you get older. And one of the younger guys on staff, Jason Smith, is just laughing. And so we're like, don't worry, you're going to hit 40 and your eyes are going to start going on you too. And he says, no, I'm laughing because people always wonder what you guys talk about before big games and would love to be in here. And here we are talking about eyesight and losing hair and those type of things.
That's awesome. I love it. Thank you, Jerome. Good luck in Alabama, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you guys. Appreciate everything that you do for us, man.
Jerome Tang, Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports.
All right, we have Paul's Top 5 coming up in about 30